Okay, Dragon Ball Daima episode 18. This one may be a top 5, maybe even a top 3 episode. So much happened in this episode, and there's so much I want to cover. And see, this is the weird thing of Daima. Before I get into the review, this is the weird thing with Daima. A lot of these episodes leading to these last few episodes were a bit, what's it called? Like a seesaw. It would go from a lot of action-packed stuff, and not just action-packed, but a lot of story-driven things that progress the story. And then you go to the next episode and it's almost like nothing progresses. And now you're getting into episodes where everything is progressing. Whereas you could have just had that happen throughout the entire series. I'm going to keep harping on that until the series ends. But nonetheless, this series overall, I would say, so far has been decent. Overall, just overall decent. It's been fine. It hasn't been offensive or anything like that. But let's get on to Dragon Ball Daima episode 18, titled Awakening. And just in case you were wondering, episode 35 of GT, which was the episode where Goku became SS4 in that series, was titled The Saikyo Goku ga Super Saiyajin 4 ni, which translates to The Mightiest. Goku becomes Super Saiyan 4. And if you're wondering why I just brought up SS4, well, it's because it makes its return, question mark, in this episode. Yeah, that's right. Goku transforms into a form. Could you call this SS4? Yes, it's identical to SS4, but it's not the same as SS4. He gets it by Nebot putting like magic sauce in his body or whatever. Like magic, using magic to help him transform. And in GT, obviously, he absorbed the Brutes waves from Earth. So did Nebot just make Brutes waves and throw them into Goku's body? Because if that's the case, then yes, this is Super Saiyan 4. This is SS4. But if he didn't, then this is something different. Because, I mean, he can use magic. So I think it'd be better if this was called as Super Saiyan Magic, but that's whatever. It's just semantics. I'm gonna just call it SS4 for this video, just to make it clear what we're looking at. So he goes SS4, and just like in GT, he starts tanking Goma's attacks like he did with Baby, and now he starts beating on Goma. And then we get to a part in the episode which was really, really freaking weird. So Arinsu has Glory Hole. She has Glory Hole go get the Dragon Balls, the other 2 Dragon Balls that he and his team picked up, so that she can make her wish to become the super freaking Demon King, the Supreme Demon King, right? And eventually defeat Goma. I mean, Porunga is capable of doing that all on his own, but she wants to do it herself, I guess. And so he brings the Dragon Balls, and then she mentions something. She's like, blah, 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 blah. You have to do this incantation. This is the reason I had you learn Namekian. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, okay, wait, you had him learn Namekian just to do this incantation and make your wish for you? Why would you put trust in this, like this amount of trust into someone's hands? It's weird to me. It's just like, why didn't she either have him teach her the incantation and the wording to make the wish, or B, just learn Namekian herself? It's just weird. It's weird. It's like having someone learn how to use a gun so you can have. It's like having an employee of yours learn how to use a gun, right? So that they can shoot your enemy. But you have your employee stay with your enemy and just act as if they're buddies, you know? And that employee of yours, it's not like you have a big connection with that employee, but it's weird. It's freaking weird. It's like having Mercenary Tao. Oh yeah, just this is how you summon the dragon. All right, I'm beating that dead horse. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dumb. Honestly, it's weird. All right, I'm beating that dead horse. So anyway, he ends up summoning the dragon. And like I mentioned, Porunga comes out, the Demon Realms Porunga. And he does look like Porunga from Planet Namek. He also resembles the red Shenlong from GT, which leads me to thinking about, the origin of these dragons, how these dragons were originally supposed to look. All that stuff, I'm starting to question it now, and I should probably make a video about that. Along with Piccolo and Kami's pre-fusion, like the Child of Katats, that era. Stuff like about that. But yeah, he's red like that Shenlong, and then he looks like Porunga. It's pretty trippy. It's a cool little visual. And so here's one thing I want to real quick touch on. So she asked him to make the wish, right? And of course, DTA, like Stone Cold Steve Austin says, don't trust anybody. He goes and makes the wish. I thought somebody was going to stop him, like go in there and drop kick him or something. But no, he just makes the wish. And then the episode closes. Yeah, so that's the episode. And so in the episode preview for episode 19, you see that Arinsu shoves her hands in the air and she's just waving him like she doesn't care. She's celebrating that she got her wish. That's what it looks to be, right? But I don't believe that she actually got the wish. I believe the reason this episode is going to be titled Betrayal is because Glorio actually screws her over with the wish. I don't believe he wished for her to be Supreme Demon King. What I think he did was probably wish for something else, like wish for Goku to be an adult, and now you're going to see an adult SS4. Like he wished for all of them to be adults again or something, and now you're going to get to see an adult SS4 in Daima, and she is throwing her hands up in confusion because she believes the wish was granted for her. I believe that preview for episode 19, it takes place over the span of like the first few, if not first minute of episode 19, and where she later finds out that she's been screwed over, and then Goku and them become adults and, you know, become exponentially more powerful, and then probably eventually defeat Goma. I think that's what's going to happen. Either that or she does get the power, and then those Medibugs that they use to, fuse, Goku and Vegeta are going to have to use those bugs, and they're going to end up fusing into Vegiku or something like that. You know, because it's going to be a different form of fusion. It's not going to be Metamoran or Portara. It's going to be bug fusion. Demon fusion. Demonic fusion. I like that better. That sounds better. It's going to be demonic fusion. Oh, it's kind of cool that way. It's like... Well, Potara would technically, wouldn't that be from the demon realm also? Because the Kaioshin are gleans from the demon realm. But whatever, it's whatever. Demon bug fusion, that's what it's going to be. And I believe the episode might close on something like that. It might honestly conclude the battle by the end of the episode. But those are my predictions, and that was the episode. This was a fine episode. And yeah, Dragon Ball. There's another thing I want to mention before I go. It's that this whole thing about canon and canon this, canon that, it's dumb. It's like, okay, you guys want to say, oh, it's canon now. I remember people saying this about Broly or other stuff like, Jocko, when he was put in the Broly movie. And I'm like, Toriyama already made the manga of Jocko. This whole canon debate is stupid. They're literally making what's popular. Canon, it's like, if you're going to say canon, it's like what's most popular because they're going to put it out there. And it's like Dragon Ball Daima is to Dragon Ball GT what Dragon Ball Super is to Dragon Ball Z. It's a love letter. So when they're making these series, you really think they're thinking of, oh, okay, this is canon. They're not. I can guarantee you the Japanese don't think that way. They're thinking of what looks the coolest, what fans freaking get excited about. And after Akio Yoku's statements from like last Tuesday or whatever, he even said this was, the kids growing up watching GT are going to love this, which it brings up a whole new topic of the 90s being like the nostalgia of the 2020s, like how the 80s was for the 2010s. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that. And that's the review. I'll see you on the next one. Check out the Easter eggs video and videos I got coming this week. I'll see you on the next one.